Hello and welcome to EclecticElk Reviews Scribblenauts Unlimited. I know this game has been out for a while, but I thought I'd try my hand at a review. So I'm going to quickly go over some of the pros and cons, what I liked and really disliked about this game, and kind of give you an overall review. So let's get to it. Now let's quickly introduce the story. Basically there are two kids, Maxwell and Lily, they're sisters, and the game starts off with them having powers and being really naughty. So Lily gets cursed to slowly turn to stone unless Maxwell keeps doing good deeds and gets star rights for doing good deeds in order to free his sister. However, one of the issues with this is that every time you come and bring more star rights to Lily, she keeps turning to stone, and it's really kind of confusing to follow the story. It's like, I'm supposed to be saving her, but apparently I'm making her worse, and Maxwell is too clueless to fix this, or to notice this. Now let's talk about level structure. Basically, every level consists of a bunch of mini activities you can do and one big activity you can do that gives you a whole star right. The mini activities give you only a fraction. Now, basically, as soon as you click on the star right symbol, you can see exactly where you need to go to find everything. Great for little kids, frustrating for adults who would prefer to figure things out for themselves. And usually they're just like a quick solve, it's give this person an object or do a thing. However, the bigger activities that give you a whole star right are usually a string of activities and a set of conditions that you have to do to get this large piece of star right. So, this could get really annoying at times depending on what string of activities they ask you to do. Some of them are nice and simple and they're easy to think of, and other ones are just a cruel form of torture. Speaking of cruel form of torture, let's look at what I basically deem the worst level ever. It's the prison escape level. It has a lot of crazy requirements actually to alter Maxwell to make him run super fast and be armored, because I couldn't believe the amount of damage you can take in this level. And it's really frustrating because you have to do little repetitive tasks over and over again in order to survive, and some things you just don't really know how to survive them, or you can't be bothered to. And the worst part is this part here. There's this key to a door, but a giant spiky metal ball in the way. And you have a fan. Like, because basically the hint is, you know, have something move the ball for you. The only thing I could think of really was a fan, and that was also, you know, in the game library. However, the fan only blows in one direction, and it's the exact opposite direction that you want the fan to blow in. And there's no way to alter it that I could find. So basically this leads to lots of frustration. I have no idea how I eventually beat this level, but I did. But usually the levels ended with something like what's about to happen. Something like that. Just pure frustration leading to death. Now other things are great, like this not so subtle tribute to the Donkey Kong from like the original arcade game, which I thought was really quite funny. But then there were a lot of other things that were quite frustrating, like this bit here. So first of all, you try and think of like things that would logically solve whatever the puzzle was, and sometimes the answer is not so obvious. I've got like a scientist, so I thought, hey, maybe he'd want to find a meteorite or something, but no, absolutely no interest whatsoever. And then there's the joyous thing, because this is a full star right mission, of, well, you know, you're trying to do something, you slip on the mouse, and you kill someone and the level's over. Another plus/minus is the spell checker dictionary thing. The dictionary is really limited, so it will try to give you suggestions, which is great, but sometimes its suggestions are absolutely hopeless and it just really doesn't have the thing you want. Another thing that started to get frustrating after a while was the map. Like, everything was really, really repetitive, and all the names are really creative, and obviously this would be great to help children learn grammar, and it helps adults refresh their grammar skills. Everything was just so repetitive. That's why it took me so long to finish this game and therefore finish this video. All in all, I'd say this game has a lot of pros and a lot of cons that balance out the pros. Pros being it's very creative. Con being answers are restrictive, so you can be creative, but it has to be within the limit that they give it to you. This game has a huge variety of levels and cons. Con, this gets really repetitive and kind of boring. Another pro, the spell checker dictionary thing helps people learn how to spell, helps people find the right word. Con, limited to the dictionary that the game has provided because they also have to have animated bits to go with it. The story can get really frustrating, and that is my biggest con in the end. Your goal is clear, which is great. You obviously know what you need to do and you do it, but Maxwell's an idiot and doesn't see that Lily is still turning to stone. When you finally reach the end of the story, you're just kind of like, oh, really? That's how this ends? And it's all to teach a moral lesson, which is great, but if you're an adult playing this game, you feel patronized. If you're a child playing this game, probably pretty awesome, but I think even kids would get bored with the repetitiveness and the frustratingness of this game. And now I'll let you see the ending for yourself.
And then I was fine. The glow wasn't coming from the starlight, though. It was coming from every single good thing Maxwell had done while trying to save me. Every single good deed had helped. Dad could tell we were kind of mad at him. That's a pretty mean trick to turn your daughter to stone. He said that we really needed to see how hard things can get in life, even if you have special abilities. He also said that he knew we would come through it all right, at least if we were any kids of his. We eventually forgave him, but not until we had the last laugh. We borrowed his cane and used it on his underwear drawer. From then on, we tried to use our powers to help those that didn't have them. It was a lot of fun. So kids, remember to always treat others as you would like to be treated. Not everyone has a brother with a magical notebook that can save them. I'm glad I had one, though.